a 25-year-old man who could not break 45 seconds indoors his entire career, ran 44.52 seconds on February 13, 2026, and erased a world record that had survived 2 decades. The same track, the same event, a completely different era. Nobody in that building was ready for what Khaleb McRae was about to do to the entire 400-meter field. Khaleb McRae grew up in Durham, North Carolina. At age 8, a neighbor watched him run around the block and told his mother to sign him up for track. She did it that same week. By age 11, McRae was already telling his mother he was going to compete at the Olympics one day. That was not a wish. That was a plan. He won 3 North Carolina state titles in high school. In January 2018, as a senior in high school, he ran 1 minute 4.62 seconds in the 500 meters indoors at Winston-Salem. That was an American high school best. He broke the previous record by 0.35 seconds. The record had been held by Randolph Ross. Here is the part that does not make sense. After all of that, major Division I programs were not calling. Nobody was lining up to offer him a scholarship. So McRae took a different road entirely. He went to South Plains College in Texas, a junior college. He won an NCAA national championship in the 400 meters there. He ran 45.82 and proved he belonged at a higher level. Then Alabama came calling. McRae transferred to the University of Alabama for his final 2 years. He ran 45.02 indoors in 2024, the second fastest indoor 400 meters in Alabama program history. He earned All-America honors on the 4x400 relay. He was developing, but he never made an NCAA final. Most people would have quit at that point. One of his coaches told him something that stuck. The coach pointed out that Michael Johnson never won an NCAA title either. Johnson went on to become one of the greatest 400-meter runners in history. McRae held on to that. In his own words, that was heartbreaking. He went home, and for about an 8-month stretch, he believed his career was finished. 8 months of sitting with a result that said he was not good enough for the biggest stage in the sport. That is the same man who just broke the world record. February 13, 2026, the Randall Tyson Track Center. This is one of the most famous indoor tracks in American athletics. Championship records have been set here. It is a track built for fast times. McRae stepped into the blocks in the men's 400-meter championship final. William Jones was in the race. World silver medalist Jerem Richards of Trinidad and Tobago was competing in a separate heat. The gun fired. McRae came out with complete control. His first 200 meters was 21.24 seconds. Fast but not alarming. Jones was still close. The race looked competitive. Then the second lap started. McRae did not slow down. He accelerated. The gap between him and Jones grew with every step. By the final curve, the race was already decided. Jones could not close it. Nobody in the field could close it. McRae crossed the finish line in 44.52 seconds. Jones finished second in 45.63 seconds. That is a margin of 1.11 seconds. In a world record 400-meter race. That is not a close win. That is complete domination. Here is what 44.52 seconds actually means. The previous official world indoor record in the 400 meters was 44.57 seconds. It was set by Karen Clement on February 19, 2005. On the same track, the Randall Tyson Track Center in Fayetteville, Arkansas. That record had survived 21 years, 2 full decades of elite sprinters trying and failing to break it. Clement went on to win Olympic gold in the 400-meter hurdles in 2016. His indoor 400 record was legitimate, respected, and seemingly untouchable. McRae erased it by 0.05 of a second. Now here is where this story gets complicated. McRae is not the first man to run 44.52 indoors. Michael Norman of the United States ran the exact same time at the 2018 NCAA Indoor Championships. That time was never ratified as a world record because drug testing protocol was not followed properly at that meet. Christopher Morales Williams of Canada actually ran 44 and 49 seconds in 2024. That is faster than McRae's time. It was run on the same Fayetteville track. It was also never ratified because the starting blocks used at that meet did not meet World Athletics specifications. He then traveled to the World Indoor Championships in Torun, Poland as the world record holder and U.S. national champion. In the final, Christopher Morales Williams, the same man whose 44.49 from 2024 was too fast to ratify, ran 44.76 to win gold. McRae took silver in 45.03. The next day, McRae anchored the United States 4x400 relay team to a championship record of 3 minutes 1.52 seconds. The outdoor world record in the 400 meters is 43.03, set by Wade van Niekerk in 2016. McRae's outdoor personal best is 43.91. The gap is 88 hundredths of a second. A year ago, he had never broken 45 seconds indoors. McRae is 25 years old. Gabby Thomas won 3 Olympic gold medals in the summer of 2024. Then, an Achilles injury wiped out her entire 2025 season. Most athletes play it safe after that. Gabby booked 3 races across Ethiopia, Kenya, and Botswana in just 10 days. Her first time competing on African soil in her entire career. What she is actually building toward will completely change how you see this comeback. At the 2024 Paris Olympics, Gabby Thomas did not just compete. She took over the entire games. She won the 200 meters in 21.82 seconds. She ran legs in both the 4x100 and 4x400 relay teams. 3 gold medals from 1 games. No American sprinter had a better summer. She left Paris as the second fastest woman in history over 200 meters, sitting behind only Florence Griffith Joyner. That was her peak. And then May 2025 arrived and changed everything. The Achilles injury started small. Gabby kept pushing through the pain the way great athletes always try to do. At the USA Championships, she fought all the way to the finish line and placed 3rd in the 200 meters by just 1/1000th of a second. That tiny margin kept her spot on the World Championships team. Barely. But the injury kept getting worse through July. 2 weeks before the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, she made the call and pulled out. She said she came to the realization that it was okay to be human. For the woman who just swept 3 gold medals in Paris, that statement cost something real. Tokyo went on without her. And here is the part that matters most. 8 months of rehab. 8 months of questions about whether her Achilles would ever hold under full sprint pressure again. April 7, 2026. Texas Relays in Austin. Gabby steps onto a track for the first time since the USA Championships. She runs the 100 meters. She wins. Her time is 11.0 seconds flat. That ties her personal best in the 100 meters. Not a slow and careful first race back. A personal best on the very first day. Then she came back the same day and ran a leg in the 4x400 relay. 2 events. First day back in competition. After the race, Gabby said she still had a lot of work to do this season. She ran a personal best and told everyone she still had more to give. That alone tells you exactly what kind of mindset she is carrying right now. 1 week after Texas, Gabby posted a schedule that sent shockwaves through the athletics world. 3 races, 3 countries, 10 days. April 18, the Addis Ababa Grand Prix in Ethiopia. April 24, the Kipkeino Classic in Nairobi, Kenya. April 26, the Botswana Golden Grand Prix in Gaborone. Her first time competing on the African continent in her entire career. No other American sprint star at her level has ever attempted a schedule like this. Especially not 8 months after Achilles surgery, with just 1 race behind them. Most fans assume altitude helps all runners the same way. It does not. Distance runners train in Kenya and Ethiopia, on purpose, because thin air forces the body to produce more red blood cells. Those red blood cells carry more oxygen. When distance runners come back down to sea level, their bodies are supercharged. That is why Kenyan and Ethiopian marathon runners are almost impossible to beat. Remember what was said earlier. Jefferson Wooden won the 200-meter world title in Tokyo, while Gabby recovered at home. That race has no clean ending yet. Jefferson Wooden holds the World Championship gold, Gabby holds the Olympic gold. Their rivalry is one of the most unfinished stories in the sport right now. And while Jefferson Wooden works through the traditional European circuit, Gabby is stress testing herself in conditions that nobody in sprinting would dare touch. That gap in preparation strategy is not an accident. 2026 is the only year between now and the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, with no Olympics and no traditional World Athletics Championships on the schedule. No global title is at stake this year. That makes 2026 the exact right time to push limits, test new events, and find out what the body can truly handle under pressure. Gabby has already made clear she plans to race more 100-meter events and more 400-meter events this season. The 400 meters is not new ground for her. At the Grand Slam track meet in Kingston, Jamaica, she ran 49.14 seconds in the 400 meters, a personal best that put her in the all-time American conversation. She later improved that to 49.01 seconds. She is not simply returning. She is building a completely different version of herself before the season peaks. The truth every Gabby Thomas fan needs to hear is simple. She is not easing back in. She is not protecting her image. She is not waiting for perfect weather or perfect conditions. She is taking a risk that most athletes at her level would never touch after serious Achilles surgery. Julian Alfred ran 21.71 seconds in the 200 meters in London in July 2025 into a headwind and broke the world record. The bar in Gabby's best event has been raised higher than it has ever been. She knows exactly what the standard now looks like. She is not in Africa to mark time.